have a major and critical role to play in today's, that is small and medium enterprises. We're looking at the education sector, and we're looking at the statutory framework. Those were the three areas that we were looking at. We have brought in all the things that we have done in the field, all the things that we have done by way of desktop research. We have brought everything here this morning. For this distinguished gathering to more or less look at it with your fine-tooth pick, critique it, and then give us your own perspectives on how we can further develop it in terms of the recommendations that will come out of it. And at the end of today's event, we are going to ask ourselves one major question: what next in pushing the frontiers of this project? So that is why the contribution of everybody here today is going to be interactive, as Abazi said. It's going to be very interactive, and that's why the panel of experts that we have for the three different things, what they want to do will be to raise the issues and lead discussions on the issues for all of us to be a part of it. We have the team of rapporteurs here, headed by Professor Animiawa. They are going to try to capture the recommendations that will come out from here, and we tweak it into this, and then we are going to have a final report that we are going to give to policymakers, decision makers, to guide them in pushing the frontiers of cloud computing in Nigeria. The slides. Ellen, are you on strike? We were bidding. The institute was bidding for a project. And it was an international project that we were bidding for. At a point, they wanted to do a due diligence on the institute. So they came in to meet us. And they said, after asking us different questions, they said, how do you store your data and other materials? Proudly, with my hands in my pocket, I took them to where we had the iron cabinets. I said, we have them here, they are here. Everything, we double them, we have in the CD, we have in this, then we keep the document. And I thought I'd already made the point. And they told me, they said, Prof, fire, water, the vicissitudes of life, anything could have happened at any time or can happen. All of these fireproof, waterproof that you think you have here will not be able to stand the test. And that was when it became very obvious that you cannot stand aloof and say you will not be part of the global initiative that is moving forward all these innovations. At the end of the day, we realized in the course of this, and the single members here, you will see that people are not averse to joining the trade and being a part of cloud computing. But for the fears they have, at the end of the day, the question is, should the fears be what will stop you further improve the statutory framework? Go out, have a better understanding of the concerns that people have, so that we will know how to meet these concerns. Go out, understand what are the benefits of this innovation, cloud computing, which has been on for so many years, but which we are yet to join the trade. Understand the benefits and be able to sensitize interface from this group in further deepening this will be very, very helpful to the research team. The first slide. What we have done here is to give the definition of cloud computing. And what we have simply done was to adopt the National Institute of Standards and Technology definition, which defined it as a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing services, network servers, storage applications and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interaction. That is what cloud computing is all about. And that is the definition they have given, the experts. That is the definition they have given. What was of interest, and still of interest to NIAMS, which Microsoft has made possible, is whether Nigeria in the amortization of the benefits and opportunities of cloud computing. Where are we in this whole process? That is what we want to understand this morning. The next slide. I have indicated here the service models Three service models that organization identified: software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. And the kind of things that they deliver is what I've indicated there. We are not so much going to bother about the technicalities of this. I'm just going to introduce it. I'm sure the different panels, the technical experts, will be talking about it further. The next slide. These are the benefits and the opportunities. Optimized server utilization, dynamic scalability. And when you talk about dynamic scalability, it's more like your pay as you go. Instead of talking capex, you are talking opex. Instead of you putting massive upfront investment of your own in trying to manage your data, you can go ahead, have your material stored somewhere else, and as much as you need. If you need 5, you go for it. If you need 1, you come down to it. So it depends on what you need at different times. You are able to save yourself so much cost savings. So it is very dynamic in that area. Infrastructure flexibility, reduced time for implementation. It is, I was listening to a discussion by a Canadian one time. He said, you lie to your son or your daughter about a program, or he has asked you a question, and then you go ahead and you lie to him. Within 2-3 minutes, your son or daughter will come back to you and say, Daddy, you have lied. Because all your son needs to do is to go online. The answer to the question he has asked you is going to find it there in different forms and shapes. And he will come back to you and say, what you have said is contradictory to all of this. When you now saying the tradition of our people says we should not, the money is not going to listen to that. So at the end of the day, you find out that with cloud, a lot of things can be done very quickly. Shortening development lifestyle in terms of the deployment, flexibility of data location, adaptation to real needs, commingled data in terms of sharing and multi-tenancy in the way to reduce your cost. These are the benefits and opportunities. But you find out that everything that has a benefit will also have their own burdens. Let's go to the next slide. These are legal challenges for cloud computing. Cloud data ownership, copyright issues, technical expertise and track record of performance. People are skeptical. You want me to go and store my data with you? I store it there 6 months' time, they tell me that you have gone bankrupt. What happens to me? Where do I find myself? What do I do? Compliance issues, data protection and security. Let us take a school where they have their students' data stored in the cloud. And through the back door, some people go ahead and take this for marketing purposes. These are critical issues. All of us will remember what happened with the Snowden case. The matter is still ongoing. These are issues